Good evening. Welcome to Shop Live with Mimi and Russ. Tonight is part 3 of our wedding jewelry and our wedding theme and topic. Tonight we're going to talk a lot about our custom design pieces and also just to kind of teach people tonight, as we do with all of our customers, what's practical when you're having an engagement ring or wedding ring designed or built. What is your lifestyle like? How are you going to wear this? What are you thinking about? I've done this for a long time, over 40 years, I
I
think.
always
now.
miss it by 10 years.
Yeah. So anyway, I've seen a lot of problems with people with rings and the way things are worn and the way things are put together. And I've come up with a lot of good ideas that I think make wedding rings, engagement rings easier to wear, easier to pair. We're going to talk about some of those things again tonight in our part 3 series. We're going to show you a few slides to some rings that we've made in the past. We're going to show you some pictures also, pieces that we've done to show you wedding rings, engagement rings can be whatever you want them to be. They don't have to be some traditional thing. And also, Mimi, wedding rings, engagement rings really haven't been around for hundreds of years. They've been around for a few decades, really. It was marketed by the jewelry industry.
In America, it was definitely marketed by the jewelry industry. If you go to Europe, you'll see more colored stone engagement rings. Diana's sapphire diamond halo ring kind of brought that attention to the world. We've always done a lot with color.
Yeah. And so many people think that, you get an engagement ring and a wedding band, that's what your grandparents had, or your great-grand. They didn't. This really kind of started more in the 50s that you saw the engagement ring as a prominent part of people preparing to get married. And the rings that you would see your grandparents wear, a lot of times they got those later in life because things were a lot different back in the 20s and 30s and 40s than they are today.
Well, there was a couple of marketing things. At first, it was either you bought a quarter carat, a half carat, a 3/4 carat, or a carat.
Yep.
So
Then they came out with the thing, 3-month salary.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And I literally have people come in and doing that. So marketing is amazing.
Yes,
but
it is.
What we want to do is not market to you. We don't want to sell to you. We want you to come to us and let us help you design and build what is practical for you, what's affordable to you, and something that you're going to wear for a long time and enjoy. And keep this in mind as well. People say, I'm going to get married. This is going to be my ring for life. Sorry, guys, it won't be. 2 things are going to happen. Number 1 is she's going to wear this every day. Possibility she could wear it out. Needs too much reconstruction that you need to redo something. Or you get, a big celebration like a 20th anniversary or a 25th, and you decide you want to upgrade it. So that happens a lot too. So
Definitely.
we want to help you through all those processes to realize what's practical now, what's practical for those down the road who want to upgrade, or those later on in life who may be getting married for the second time or whatever reason and want something unique and different. That's what we're going to show you.
We deal with all age people. We have a lot of people who come to us. They've been married 30, 40 years, and they'll say, this little diamond is all he could afford when he was in medical school or
Exactly.
in school. And, I just love it. Oftentimes people want to do an upgrade, just do what I call a big girl style.
Yep.
Once you grow up,
A
with
lot
a
of
big
time-
girl ring.
Yeah, what happens a lot of times, the other good marketing technique was the past, present, and future, the 3-stone ring.
Yes, that's another good one.
3-stone rings are fantastic. So a lot of times people come in, like Mimi just said, maybe your original diamond. We'll try to match that up for a second stone and put a larger stone in the middle. That's usually what happens with those. Or the wonderful thing to do, if you like a solitaire, is we take your original diamond, we put in a pendant close to your heart. You can wear that. Now you have a diamond pendant, and you upgrade your engagement ring. So there's all kinds of options. We can go over that with you individually. But tonight, let's talk about some of the things we do.
Before you get started,
Okay.
Today is what day?
Today is our daughter's 31st birthday, Gabrielle, who is over here running our show for us and grinning at
Her
us.
birthday. So happy birthday, sweetheart.
Exactly. We're very blessed to have her working with us, and she's a wonderful asset to our business. We hope to come by and see her sometime.
But don't feel bad for her. We just got back from a girls' weekend trip for the birthday, and we're going to continue the season tomorrow.
For some reason, my girls' birthdays seem to last more than a day. They seem to
It's
be
a
like
season. It's a season.
like a week or 2. Well, that's fine. That's great. Anyway, let's get down to talking about what we're going to talk about tonight.
Okay.
Let's talk about engagement rings. Again, the first thing I want to talk about is trends. Everybody gets into trends, whether it's clothing, shoes, jewelry, especially engagement rings. I see a lot of people coming in with these Etsy pictures and things that they love this little beautiful, tiny, thin engagement ring. They like these little thin bands, these little diamonds. Keep in mind, how practical is something this tiny and thin with small prongs? How long is it going to last? Not very long. So what we're trying to do is make people realize what you need at this time of your life. We had a couple in 2 days ago, I believe, and she had a solitaire that her boyfriend bought, her fiance bought, and realized that wedding bands don't fit flush against it. That's the one main thing we see a lot. A lot of these rings that these people make, they're manufacturers. They're not really jewelry designers in the sense of being a jeweler and a jewelry designer as we are. I work on the pieces. I know how they should be built. A lot of people do not. They build something because they think it's pretty, and it is. But a lot of times it's not practical. Bands don't fit with them. You have to curve something or have something custom made. And a lot of times that's not what people want. It's nice to have a flat band to be able to fit, because sometimes you're going to go somewhere and travel, or you don't want to wear your large center, your engagement ring, but you always want to wear your wedding band. So a straight band always is more practical.
But used to always have people when we had Aura Jewelers, big store. We had so many people come to us with their already engagement ring, and they're trying to problem solve
Yep.
to figure out how to get something that was cohesive and wearable. And this man is just brilliant at that.
So a lot of times what people come in, why don't you just kind of hold that on your finger. So again, these rings are from the 70s, 80s molds we originally did for people who had large center stones, and the bands were thin, so you had to have something that was curved. So those rings were nice, and people like that kind of rope edge. So that style was very popular in the 80s and 90s. And really, I mean, it's still good today if that's the type of ring that you have that needs something to fit around it.
This is a wax mold, so you have to let your
Yes.
eye translate it to white or yellow gold.
Now, here's something else. Put these up here on your finger. Here are two other bands that were done to fit other people's rings that were curved. You can see there's two different two different gaps in these because they fit particular rings. So anytime you would have a ring that did not have a way to fit a band flush, we'd have to curve them like this. So imagine, as you see those on Mimi's finger, they're not really pretty by themselves. They look great with the engagement ring, but by themselves they do not. So what we came up with was this. Here's one of our 3-stone rings. This particular ring, show the top and side as well. This, we do a slight bit wider shank, which is the side and the back of the ring, and we do it doubled. Doubled was a little way we came up with to say this is two people joining together as one, and it also makes the shank not look as heavy by doing that. But it also allows us to sweep the heads, which are the 3 heads in the middle, can sweep through the width of the shank. And that way, any flat band, any type of band will fit up against it. And I'll show you that example right now. Take that ring back out. Put these two on your finger. And you can see this ring is loose because it's a ring that we're making right now. But it has a larger center stone. But if you can see from there, the band fits flush against it. There's no gaps. Whereas traditional rings, we'll go back to this one now, Mimi. Here's a ring that we took apart, the center stones out, and redid it like the ring I just showed you. Because if you look at this ring, you can see.
Little.
That's right. I want you just to roll it. I want you to people to
Okay.
see it. This was 2 bands put together with a traditional ring from a catalog from a regular jewelry store, because that's all they do. And you can see there's gaps between it. You can also see they soldered it together, and whoever soldered it together to hold them so they won't move and spin, you can see that it's not balanced. It looks terrible. So what we try to do is make this ring where those bands will fit flush and sit nicely against it, or you can wear them by themselves. Otherwise, why have a wedding ring, a wedding band, and an engagement ring? You just have a wedding ring, one ring.
And this is 40 years of experience talking to
Yep.
figure these things out.
So what we tried to do is figure out ways to make people understand what's going to work for their lifestyle. And speaking of bands, here's a set of different bands that we make. I like to use these shared prong bands, meaning there's 2 prongs that hold 2 diamonds. The prongs are slightly heavier, but they're set closer to the inside of the diamond. So when you look down, you really see the nice roundness of the diamond. The prongs are heavier, which means they hold up better. They're easy to round off, and they do not pick like these little small 4-prong bands that most of these retail jewelry stores carry. Again, experience has taught us that these wear better, and you can see this. These are all bands that we make and design. They go from 2 millimeter, 2.5, 3 to 3.5. We also go up to a large
That's the stone size.
stone size. So they go from about 30 points up to about a carat. And here's one we're making, a similar style. This one is for a customer. I've got 2 stones set in it now, and it's loose because I'm working on it. But these hold about a 1/2 carat each. Similar style ring. This particular one has the 4 prongs because it's a larger stone and it's easier to set this way. It keeps it real clean without a lot of bulk.
That's going to be a showstopper right there.
Yes, it is.
It's going to be beautiful.
That's for our friend Connie, as a matter of fact.
Connie's watching, and Rhonda just came on. Thank you, all of our super fans. Lisa's watching, and Melinda is with us.
And this, going back to, how rings should fit and curve, this is a wax model. We've got this on our website. You can go to our website and see this particular ring. We did this a few years ago for a customer with a 5.5 carat round, and we had that same band that Mimi was just showing you with the 1/2 carats each. This is a curved band to fit that particular one because this ring has to have a curved band. But see how nicely that fits. At the same time, if you did wear that band by itself, it's not so exaggerated that it would be pretty by itself.
But that's a pretty big center stone.
Yes, it is.
Normally you get flare, just the nature of the stone, and this was a beautiful set. It's like even as big as, you see the green
Switch
wax, the switch bands.
Switch band. So that's the large band with it. You can also, we make different band sizes
put one
because
on either
people
side.
have different tastes and different moods. Some ladies want to be real strong and out front and want a big bunch of diamonds. Some people don't. So you can see there's 2 different size bands right there.
the
We
big-
actually do one even smaller for the same series. As a matter of fact, here's the smaller version of this ring. We do this a lot. Here is the small version, which holds about a 2.5 carat oval or round. Here's the casting in 18 karat yellow gold, and here's the wax. So you can see that's what it looks like in the wax, and then there's the cast
Thank
piece.
you for doing that.
It's not polished,
it's
so it
hard-
looks a little weird. But that's the process that we do. We actually make the mold. We cast the piece here in stock in our store.
And of course, the client picks out what metal they want. If they want platinum, white gold, rose gold.
And put those 2 bands with. Sometimes people, again, we'll put 1 band. Some people like the balance and continuity of having 2 bands. So you can put a smaller one on each side. Or if you really want to show off, put a big one on there. But I think this proportion is very nice. Again, that's the wax models against the cast piece. But that nice curved look. And imagine the white diamonds in there.
It's really
Easy set to wear.
Yeah, it's beautiful in the yellow gold. When everything's finished, you're just going to see the stones. You're going to see it's all stones, and it'll pop.
We call that our 4-prong floater, which is a very popular style for us. I want people to see this ring right here. Show it to them from the front side. It's a cast, but show it from that angle especially. You can see a lot of manufactured. This is a ring we do actually for colored stones and diamond accents on the side. But you can see a lot of people would use something like that also as an engagement ring. So you would have to have a curved band on something like that. So what we would do, we would form fit a band to fit perfectly around that to make it balance out. Show that from the east-west side.
What, this way?
Yes. So you can kind of see how the bottom of the head sticks out. That's what most rings do in every store, solitaires. And that just doesn't make sense. That's why we like to sweep the heads.
Again, that's 40 years of experience.
There's your design lesson. Here's another one we just did. Customer wanted a clean, simple ring. They were on one of the major sites, and she loved this ring. She liked it because it was thin and simple. So we ended up copying the style and look, because it's very simple. A basic ring band, and it has a oval diamond, 2.5 carat one in the center. And this particular piece, the one that she saw was much lighter. And when I explained to her what happens when you have these lightweight rings, they don't hold up, especially for large stones at like a 2.5 carat. So we beefed it up a little bit, and we ended up making this piece, and it came out really, really nice. But you can also see from this that the particular way it's designed, any flat band, any diamond band, any of the bands we just showed you would fit perfectly up against this, even though it has a large center.
Like that. So this is kind of like a master class in
Design.
design and designing wedding bands from Russ Brummett, our concierge custom designer.
Yeah, sometimes people want something very simple and classic, and that's a great way of doing it. Sometimes they want something fancier. We'll work with you in any way that you want.
It's funny you showed that solitaire. Solitaires are making a huge comeback.
We are doing a lot of solitaires right now, a whole lot of solitaires. And, it's great, especially with right now, as we've talked about in our previous shows, the lab-grown diamonds are gaining a lot in popularity because you can get a much larger stone for less money than the naturally mined stones. And that's one reason I think we're seeing a lot of people go with solitaires, because they're so dramatic and so bold with, 2.5 carat stone. Some people don't want anything else with it, but I still am a big fan of a 3-stone ring. I love seeing pear shapes. They look phenomenal with round stones. They look great with ovals, just about anything. So keep that in mind too if you're in the mood for a new ring. And speaking of that, let's talk about this other design. As far as 2.5 carat ovals go, Gabrielle, would you pull up the picture of the wax of the
render.
CAD design, the render of the oval ring? This is a piece that we've done several times. I'll let Mimi put on her finger and show it to you. We'll talk about it a little bit. Again, this is a ring we designed because the customer wanted to see diamond, not a lot of metal. They wanted to see diamond. So a lot of people like the idea of eternity bands, which means the diamonds go all the way around. Why do you need the diamonds to go all around? Because you're going to beat them up. You're going to break them. Diamonds are strong, but they're not indestructible. You can chip a diamond if you hit it the right way. This ring gives you the illusion of it going all the way around because we put a Euro shank on it, which is squared off. That does two things. It keeps it from wanting to roll it and counterbalance it. And also, it's just comfortable on the hand. But this stone, again, had that shared prong idea we talked about. And you notice that the wedding band fits exactly flush under it. Because we designed this where the head sits up and there's nothing underneath it bracing it. So that band can fit perfectly against it. So it's beautiful together. Or if you're traveling, you can wear a beautiful diamond band all by itself, or you can accent that with some other bands on either side, make a little stack series. But this has been a really good combination for us. We've done it in pear shapes, we've done it with ovals, we've done it with rounds.
Yeah, I was going to mention the oval band. I adore that one. It happens to be one of our friends, but I do love it how the ovals.
But you see in that picture now, as it's laying on its side, you can see how that center stone is kind of sitting up and it's kind of floating on top of those other diamond sides, and the other band fits perfectly up under it, against it. So that's been a nice design for us, very clean. So if you want an all diamond look, that can be done in any size diamonds, side stones, or center stones. Again, this is about a 2.5 carat center, and it's about another 2 carats of diamonds in the band and the engagement ring.
It's a beautiful set.
Yes, it is. That set right there, I believe, is priced at $79.95 for the entire set, with about 4.5 carats of diamonds in it.
And you can
Phenomenal.
see
All
it
lab
finished. It's like those prongs he keeps talking about kind of wig people out. They're like, I don't want to see all this prong. You can see when it's finished in this shared prong style band that you just see stones. As you just...
This is a beautiful piece, very, very lively. Here's another ring we designed. This is a 3-stone. This was designed for someone who was going to wear it just as a fashion ring. But we decided to make it also into an engagement style ring as well. This would need a little curved band because of the way it's designed. If you notice the side of the shank, I don't know if you can see it from where Mimi's holding it, but the shank actually is not flat and straight. It's got a little pinch at the top and it kind of flares out. So it's a little different, a little more unique, pretty style. And we can put a really cool band with it as well. Or again, it makes a nice right hand ring. We do this ring in color as well. But a classic 3-stone. I just wanted you to see the pear shapes because I love pear shapes.
Well, you've been busy, haven't you?
I have been. And here's another ring. The halos have been popular, and I'm not a huge halo fan. The way most manufacturers make them, again, they use a lot of little small prongs and little small diamonds, trying to make the center stone, which is not large, look bigger. That's the whole purpose of them. They're also beautiful rings, but we like to try to make them with a slightly better prong, a little heavier. This particular one doesn't have the stones being uniform. You can see they kind of graduate on the north and south side a little bit, get a little larger. Kind of gives us a little bit more of an elongation, although that's a round center. Just something a little bit interesting. So you can vary the shapes of stones. We've also made these in kind of an octagonal shape top with a round stone. So anything is possible. If you like a particular shape or feeling, there you go. Meaning that if you have a round stone, maybe you want to remount it and change the look of it. This is a great way to do it. And there are various ways to make those tops.
But going back 5+ years, that head underneath would have been bowing out. And it's so clever how this is designed. You
It
just
floats.
put the band right next to it.
Exactly. Exactly. And talk about floating styles.
Excuse me.
This is another ring. I don't know if you can, this picture's going to work well or not. I'll let Gabrielle see if she can hold that for us. We've done lots of rings. We call these floaters. This particular one has a little bit of a double shank again, which again, like to say, symbolizes two people coming together as one. This particular ring was done with a round stone. Again, we've done these with any shape. It's great to take and turn an oval sideways or turn a rectangle stone sideways or cushion cut as opposed to going up and down. I've got a wax mold of something very similar to this one that I can show you in the light box here. First of all, Mimi, do me a favor. Hold those 3 stones in the light box to show people what's going on here. Here we've got a round, a cushion, modern brilliant, and an emerald cut. Let's see, the round's a 2.5 carat. The modern cushion is a little over 2 carats, and the emerald cut is 3 carats. Now, here's a wax mold. Show this wax mold.
I've got 2 hands.
Move that out of the way.
Okay.
Here's a wax mold of that floating style that we do. Now, this one can actually hold any of those stones. They have to be adjusted for the width of the stone, but each one of those can hold it. As a matter of fact, let me show you. Let me take that out.
Okay.
Let's do this. Hold this round one right here. Hold that in there, you can show them, okay? So here it is with the round. As you can see, it'll float in there. And when you look at this ring, we can't really hold it and turn it sideways, but if you turn it sideways, looking at it north and south, the stone, you can see the entire stone. So it's really a neat look. It's been a very popular ring that I've made for decades. And here's a modern cushion, turn it sideways. This is designed, again, same ring, you can see. You can put, a cushion is basically kind of like an oval and an emerald cut combined. It's bowed, but it has corners. So this particular one could sit in there as well.
And
still
last
beautiful.
year we were selling a lot of cushions,
Yep. But
especially elongated cushions.
if you want a solitaire and something a little more unique, this is a fun way to do it and turn it sideways. Now, here is a 3 carat emerald cut. Matter of fact, I did like this. Watch this. Put it in there. You kind of hold it with your finger like that.
Okay.
Look at that. So as you can see, the same ring, the same width works for 3 different shape stones. And again, any kind of band you want to put with it will fit perfectly against that.
So I put the cushion next to it so you can see they are similar in shape. Cushions are now called cushion modern brilliance because they twinkle more. They have more facets.
And they're cut balanced, finally.
Emerald cuts are cut in kind of bars or steps, and they have more flashes of color than they do twinkle.
Yep. Now these are some of the things that we've come up with, from traditional to unique and elegant. Now, if you want to really have some fun, if you're more artsy, if you're more stylish in the sense of, I want something nobody else has got, I want something that only I can have and it's mine. We designed these 2 rings for a couple, and they both have different personalities, and they both have different styles. And you can see their rings are quite different, quite unique,
Different metals.
different metals, different stones, but it's the symbol. A wedding ring is given in semblance of your commitment. Doesn't have to be anything in particular. Doesn't have to be a trend. Doesn't have to be a diamond. Doesn't have to be anything. It's what you decide that you want that makes you happy and makes your fiance and your partner happy.
They came in, they had no idea what they wanted, and we just played with ideas, and they love these colors. The blue and the pink, and then the pink and the blue. So it turned out really fun. And that's just one big ring. They don't need a band. Just get one big ring.
Exactly.
Okay.
And here's some more molds just to give you now one more idea. This is a ring we did
Love
recently.
this one.
Sometimes you don't want prongs. Sometimes we have a lot of people who are nurses or doctors, and they come in and say, "Well, I have to put gloves on. What am I going to do? I need something that's kind of low based. I don't want anything real tall, and I don't want a bunch of prongs." This I can't show you finished because we just cast this. We made a ring for someone, and I cast this one to have it. This is a ring that has a bezel set, which means there's metal going all the way around the center stone. This one it's like that cushion modern brilliant we'll talk about in the other ring. So it's kind of an oval or roval shape, basically, this particular one. The sides were half moons. The sides were set in half bezels, meaning it didn't continue all the way around the stone. But when the stones were set in this ring, hold with your fingers. When it's set in this ring, there's no prongs. There's nothing to ever pick or snag. It's not very tall in the air. And it's something that's easy to wear, and it's pretty much indestructible in the sense of you can't hurt it. So you put it on, wear it, forget it. So if you're in a service industry, or if you're in, like I said, wearing gloves a lot, you don't want to take your rings off, these style rings make a great way to wear them. And again, this particular ring, any type of flat band will fit perfectly against it as well. But a lot of these rings too, especially when we do them larger, and we had this double shank, we try to open it up to give it a little more of a light, airy feeling, some negative space. You can also, if you do these wider with larger stones, some people want to wear a wedding ring. They don't want to wear an engagement ring and a wedding ring. A lot of times that's especially for people who may be getting married for the second time or want to redo their rings to something new and different. That's a great way to do it because you're wearing the one ring. You're already married. You know what you want. You know what you like. You don't want two rings moving around. So that makes a great addition and a great way to solve that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that one finish.
Yep,
It's
got to
gonna
do
be
that
nice.
again. Anything else you want to talk about in that regard too? Sorry, Mimi's got a little cold tonight. She and Gabrielle
Try not to talk.
were off this weekend in Asheville and went to Biltmore and enjoyed themselves and
Ooh, so pretty.
got a little
Beautiful.
cold on the way, but there you go.
Let's see. I think Gabby has a slide of some rose gold rings we've done. Rose gold is much more popular than it was 10, 15 years ago. The girl's engagement ring was kind of a lattice design, beautiful in the rose gold. And I love how these bands came out. It's just so warm tone of the rose gold.
Yeah, we actually did. That was the one we did with the Montana Sapphires, right?
The Tanzanite.
Tanzanite,
I mean,
okay.
No, I'm sorry. Those things that change colors. Alexandrite.
Alexandrites. Okay, that's right. They were Alexandrites.
This is your brain on cold medicine. But isn't it? I think that's so pretty.
Just a classic look.
There we go. Did you have another slide?
I have those guys we just finished up.
Oh yeah, we did a ring, I guess it was last year, engagement ring for a couple, and it had kind of that woven, a little bit of a Celtic look to it, and he wanted to match it with the band, so we ended up doing this design, and then did another simple little design for her to go with her ring.
Yeah, her ring was ornate with the lattice and the Celtic symbols. It had sapphires, and it was really beautiful. So she opted to go for a smaller ring. She's also in medical school, so there'll be times where she won't wear her main ring. She'll just wear the plain band. Yep. These were done in platinum. The feel of his band was so luxe. It felt so good when it's finished.
It's a good looking ring. It really was a nice piece. We've done a lot of people, like I think we mentioned before, people come in sometimes and have a design idea. A lot of Celtic, we've done a lot of Celtic feels
We have
and designs.
always, over 30
Books.
years, yes.
Yeah, people come in with the edge of the book. I want this trim on my ring. Okay, we'll do that.
We can do that.
So anything is possible. Again, we're here to help you achieve your goals of getting what you want to make you something special that no one else has got.
Well, speaking of special, why don't you show them that band that you made?
Oh yeah, something else. We got a good friend of ours who he was a woodworker, and when they got married, his wife wanted to try to do something special. And I have a good friend that I grew up with who does wood turning. He does bowls, and he does some phenomenal work. Matter of fact, it's called the Bowl Man. Look him up online, the Bowl Man, Lewis Sachs. So I called Lewis and I said, got a buddy of mine that needs a really special ring in wood. Can you help me out? He goes, yeah. So I made a gold frame for this. Lewis got some exotic wood from Africa and two different tones of wood. And he actually carved these out on his lathe and fitted it to this particular ring. This ring was done as a sleeve, basically. It was done to where the outside rim had to be welded on. So what we did was he slid it onto the piece, he fitted it perfectly. Then we welded the outside gold piece on there. So that way the laser came in really handy because there's no way you can do it otherwise because a torch in wood would burn.
It would burn.
But that was a labor-intense ring, but it really a neat piece and something that's theirs personal.
So let's show them a few of the other alternatives we've got. These are samples. This you want me to put them in the light box?
Yes.
All right. This first one is you can order it in white, yellow gold, or rose gold, and the center is a meteorite. You just actually just made some earrings with meteorites.
I sure did.
For a girl in Colorado. But this has been popular. They make wedding bands with dinosaur bones and all kinds of things. This next one I'm going to show you is titanium. It has a black coating. This has actually been very popular because it's just different. The guys like it.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of guys like black wedding bands. They want black metal bands. And what you normally see are titanium or something else that's, I don't know, some kind of odd material. But titanium is very durable, very rugged, and this finish holds up very well. It's guaranteed. So if you want a band that's going to hold up, you can wear, titanium is the way to go in black.
So this is a traditional titanium band. We have sold so many of these. I think it's a 6mm. And the guys like titanium because it's lightweight, it's a cool metal.
It reminds them of their golf club, their driver.
Exactly, yes. So the black plating is kind of something new. It's not, I think a lot of the plating is really done overseas. Some of the plating is scratch resistant, some does not hold up as well. It has to be readdressed. On titanium, it would be great. We have another ring. Here we go, tungsten. Don't get me started on tungsten. It looks really cool, but I had a guy in this week and his ring was cracked and he wanted us to fix it. Tungsten is one of the hardest metals. I think diamond is the only thing a little bit harder than tungsten, but it is extremely brittle. You have to order it in the finger size, which actually with the titanium it has to be the finger size.
Yeah.
You can't size it. But tungsten is very brittle. And I had another inquiry this week where someone wanted us to set stones into the tungsten.
Impossible.
And it just, the ring will just fall apart. So, excuse me, a lot of people think it's a really cool metal and it's going to last forever, but it's not really one that we encourage people to buy. Where's that? The plain one. This little tungsten band, just price range, it's about $150.
No, titanium.
I'm sorry, what did I say?
You said tungsten.
I'm sorry.
Titanium.
Titanium is about $150.
They started about really $60, $70.
They're very
and go up.
affordable.
Very, very affordable. And then, like I said, Mimi said, they're pretty much indestructible. They're easy to wear. They're very, very lightweight and very comfortable. They also typically do those as a comfort fit, meaning the inside's domed, so it's very, very easy to wear.
This particular is tungsten. I've seen this ring in titanium also, but it's got blue inlay in it, and these are actually carbon fiber. So I'm telling you, if you get online and look at wedding bands, you can get whiskey barrel wood and, like I said, dinosaur bones. A lot of people up in Montana do like mammoth bones and whatever. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever makes you happy.
Exactly.
Then you've got, this is one other I wanted to show. This is also titanium. This ring just has a really nice feel. It's been sandblasted though. It's got a matte finish. This is a ring we've sold a few times. I would encourage someone to get this over the black plating. This ring sells for $85.
Yeah, it's great looking.
Again, you have to order it in your size.
Yep. And here's a ring we did a few years ago. I did this for a minister. This symbolizes the thorn of crowns that Christ had when he was crucified. Actually, this is Mimi's ring. She has it when she used to do some mission trips. And when she travels sometime and doesn't want to wear her diamonds, then she'll wear this ring. So again, that's a nice design to wear. And it has a great symbolism for quite a few reasons. But a lot of times you can wear, a plain band or a textured band or something else when you travel. This is a good example of that.
I wanted to put the dates of my trips in there. I haven't ever done that.
You'd have to have a bigger ring because you've been a lot.
I have.
Here's another good idea. Show this one. You've heard a lot, I hope you've heard a lot, about the salt and pepper diamonds. This is kind of some of that design. Basically, they're diamonds that have some of the carbon inclusions or natural carbon still in the stone. So sometimes you get like a peppering
Put the
flake.
light
Or you can get a dark stone like this one, which is basically a black diamond. I love the shape that we saw this ring at a recent show and just fell in love with it. It's just fun. It's very artistic. It's got kind of a geometric, almost a architectural look. I don't know, but I love the combination of the two different metals,
Yeah,
the
it's cool. It's a
sandblasting,
cool
the 18
contrast.
karat yellow gold, and that black kite-shaped diamond in the middle is just awesome.
Let's talk a little bit about alternative stones. These salt and pepper diamonds are great. They're organic. One thing that has become popular that I really don't advocate is moss agate in an engagement ring, and
No.
it
soft.
costs about $1, $2 a carat for one. But this is something that Etsy's brought out, and then why does it become popular, Mimi? Well, it becomes popular because editorial magazines pick things up and they start showing what's new, what's different.
That's the first thing I said. Trendy.
Yes,
Stay away
trendy.
from trendy.
Absolutely, but the salt and pepper diamonds are really cool. So that's a nice choice, and you can see that interesting
great piece.
cut on it.
Here's another nice ring. This is kind of a classic plain wedding band, but it has an edge, kind of a designed edge to it, which is pretty. It's a nice alternative to just a plain band, but still very simple, very tailored, very elegant.
And we have a lot of people who just want a band to travel with. This would be a perfect piece. It looks finished with the details on the sides. Excuse my throat. This one sells for $8.95.
And just put these two together on your finger in there. Again, a lot of times people love a nice wide band. There's a flat band. There's a band that's actually like 3 pieces. Here's something else to think about. That wide flat band is high polished, it's slick. It's going to show scratches real easily. Think about this. That 3-stone band has a groove down the middle, so it's got less surface area to get scratched and dinged up. So that's something that's going to have a lot less maintenance and always look a little brighter. So when you're thinking about wearing a ring that you're going to wear all the time and bang around, think about, how am I going to wear it? What's going to be the best band? A lot of times those bands with multiple ridges are much easier to wear and
Yeah,
maintain.
they are. So the one on the right is platinum. Did you make that one?
No.
We ordered. It's a stovepipe band. You can see the price, and that was $12.50 when we checked it in. We don't raise our prices. The other one is stainless steel, and that one retails for $200. But it's called a stovepipe style. It's like if you just took a pipe and literally sawed a piece off. That's the shape you get. In Raleigh, I don't know if you pulled a Raleigh special. The one,
No, we haven't. No.
the most basic band we do. Here's one. Is
They got me coughing.
a half round, and I saw somebody referred on the knot. They referred to this as a D shape, which makes sense because it's flat and then rounded, so it looks like the letter D.
Yeah.
This is probably what we sell the most for men in Raleigh. This one's a little skinny, maybe up to a 6mm. We did have this cute kid about two years ago, and he was so kind and patient and enthusiastic when they were picking out her rings. And we got to him and was like, well, what do you want? And he was giddy. He was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm going to get my own ring. I'm so excited I get something.
Here's a white gold version, the 7mm, which is also very popular.
Yeah. So do you think we sell more white or yellow?
White. Probably
White
white.
for the guys. And
Nobody can see that in your hand.
in Raleigh, you know, sometimes we'll set some diamonds or some stones in the gents' wedding bands, but more often now they're just wearing plain bands. Their men are getting nicer bands though. Gabrielle and I were talking about this in the car. It used to be the budget was so high for a natural diamond, and the girls are getting these lab grown diamonds that are 2-3 carats. But now the guys have a budget like that platinum gents band we showed a little bit ago was about $2,000.
Put that on your finger. And again, if you do not want a diamond ring, you don't have to have a diamond engagement or wedding ring. This is a classic ring that we just built. Has a excuse me, that got me doing it. I can't talk home.
This is an Asher cut natural blue sapphire. We just finished this up, and the side has trapezoids that step down.
This got three stones stepping down.
Have a sip of my tea.
Thank you.
The good old Orlando germ from the airplane, right?
Could be. But that's a beautiful, beautiful ring, a
It
classic, elegant, simple design. And again, if you don't want to wear a wedding band and a wedding ring, an engagement ring, that's a great wedding ring. It's a statement, it's beautiful, it's very elegant. And if you got any particular colored stone that you like or any shaped stone, we can build you your own custom wedding ring or engagement ring. And we have got some beautiful color. We
do.
We just finished a beautiful emerald ring and a tourmaline ring, and I'm doing a sapphire and a ruby right now as well as engagement rings or fashion rings, whatever your taste may be.
Tell them what the stone dealer was telling you today about sources.
Yes, if you're ever been in the mood, which a lot of people have been, a lot of ladies I know love sapphires, emeralds, and rubies. I just talked to a good friend of mine, Paul, who's a dealer out in California, and he was telling me he just got back from a trip to Thailand. Before we left, we talked. I had some things I wanted him to find me. And he called me back yesterday and said, I got back, found nothing that we talked about hardly. I got a couple stones you'll be interested in, and I have them coming in. But anyway, he was telling me that the rubies and sapphires have gone through the roof, that prices are crazy because there's nothing in the market right now. There's nothing being produced in some of the major mines. And a lot of the stones that are coming out are just not the quality that he likes. He likes stones that are the best. He wants stones that are not just a sapphire, a ruby, or emerald because it's blue, green, or red. He wants the finest. And he said there's nothing in the market. Prices have gone up about 30 to 40% in the last 2 years, and it's continuing to climb. So if you're interested in a nice colored gemstone, now might be a good time because it's a good hard asset with the economy being crazy. These things are valuable. They're continuing to go up, especially as time goes on. But we've got quite a few stones that we have here, and also I do have some things coming in from Paul as well. Spinel, we've talked about many times on this show, and we've had several really beautiful spinels. We just got that one hot pink one I think we showed last week. And those stones right there are going to be stones that are going to be prized in the future, so you can enjoy them now for a lifetime and then hand it down to someone else, and they're going to have something very, very valuable that you can pass to them and enjoy as well.
You want to show this one last? We have these pictures of this ring.
Again, here's something, somebody wanted something a little different. They wanted a bezel ring. They wanted a nice classic look, but something more modern and artistic. So we came up with this simple band. They wanted some diamonds down the side and didn't want it balanced. So it's 2 on one side, 1 on the other. Then we have a band that she can wear with it. And again, the stones are spaced out equilateral on it so it can spin and move, and it's always going to look the same. Then she wanted a classic wedding band because it was traditional. She thought that was important. So she's got a 3-piece ring here that she can mix and match. She can wear the plain band simply by itself. She can wear the 2 wedding bands together. She can wear all 3 together, or she can mix and match the engagement ring with either one of those bands. So again, it's whatever you want.
The versatility is nice.
The versatility is great. And whatever you want, there's no rules, there's no law. It's what your style and your taste dictate. And that's what we here to help you figure out. And I guarantee you, we'll come up with something beautiful for you.
All right, we'll show you one more band. We have this in stock. This is actually an eternity band. And I know we mentioned that about the wear.
The only way to have one is like this. is channel set, meaning there's a thin rim of gold all the way around it, or platinum in this case, all the way around the outside edge. So the outside edges of the stone are not exposed to damage. This is how to have an eternity ring. Channel set, remember that.
Yes, it has the rails protected. This ring is $3,500. So we did.
Has to fit the finger.
Yes, and thank you for saying that. We have a lot of people sometimes that need to have eternity bands sized, and you really can't size them unless you can grind the metal out of the inside. Like they have to fit, they have to work. So
Yeah, you can vary them a little bit. There's techniques to doing that, but again, we can help you figure that out. What's best for your needs and purposes.
Okay, we got talked about everything over there.
I think we do. Well, one last thing we can do, just to kind of show these. Here's a group of some fashion wedding rings that you could wear. A lot of people like to stack and mix and match. As you can see from these rings, they're unique and different shapes, different colors. If you want to, take a solitaire and dress it up, make it a little more playful and fun, here's a good collection of bands, from just a simple little round beaded looking band to a straight diamond band in rose gold with a little baguette. The next one, I believe, has the round stones and the marquise.
Yep.
And then this one, the round has a little thin band on the outside. You can see the one next to it with the pinkish stones that actually fit together. So you can mix and match those. You can have all the same color. You can have different colors. But it gives you the option of wearing it plain or together like this.
Like a fashion ring.
Really
Did you
neat.
wear a solitaire on the outside with that straight edge?
Yep. The next one has a pear shape design to it.
We have sold that band a lot.
Yeah, it's been a great band. We do a lot with like pear shapes or marquise because people want something other than a round band. These are great alternatives.
Mixed shapes look fantastic.
They do. Look on our website, see some of the mixed shape diamond bands and rings that we do. It's from jewelrydesignstudio.com, and you can see a lot of the things that we've done. Make sure you do check our website out and see all the things that we have in stock. Not everything's always on stock because we're always creating something. But if you see something that you like, you say, you know what, I would love to have one of those. We can recreate it for you in most cases. Some of our rings, our Capellini rings that we make, are always hand done. We can't reproduce. But a lot of classic rings, 3-stone rings, we can reproduce for whatever size stone and whatever finger shape, finger size, excuse me, that you have. So let us know what we can do. So check out our website.
Okay.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I think that's it. That's 50 minutes of fun.
I don't know about fun, but I hope it's informative.
Fun and informative. We appreciate everyone joining us. Forgive me for my little cough I had tonight. We'll be back next week. Our time is Tuesday at 7 p.m. You watch your Concierge Custom Design Jewelers here in Raleigh. Mimi and Russ from it. We have a beautiful studio. Make an appointment to work with us. We do a lot of Zoom consultations. We work with people all over the country. We didn't mention starting off, we weren't selling tonight. We just wanted to talk about design and wedding ring in this part 3 of wedding fashions. So
there's a lot more to engagement rings and wedding rings than something that's pretty.
We talk about this stuff every day.
You got to figure out what makes sense for your lifestyle. We want to help you have a lifestyle ring as opposed to just a wedding ring. And there's so many things that go into it that a lot of people don't think about. And our job is to show you those things. What's going to be practical for me and my lifestyle and what I want.
We got the experience. So
Yes, exactly.
thank you. Join us next week. But we'll be doing a flash sale next Tuesday.
That means some really bargains are coming next week. Yeah.
Yes, our silver curator is coming tomorrow, so I have a feeling I'm going to need to blow some things out. So we'll post that, but thank you again for joining us this Tuesday night at 7. And we want to wish our daughter Gabrielle happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you. So we're going to go have fun tomorrow night, so don't feel
Exactly.
bad for her.
Exactly.
This is
Tomorrow
fun.
night's her night.
Yes.
Again, thank you for joining us for Mimi and Russ live from our beautiful studio in North Raleigh. And we hope you have a very blessed week, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
See
God
you
bless.
next Tuesday at 7.